Hey guys, welcome to today's video. It's been a minute since I've posted on YouTube. I have taken a little bit of a break because I was starting to get a little bit of burnout with my regular day job and just like keeping up with my house during the summer, or I guess like getting ready for fall and winter, and just taking care of my plants and trying to stay on top of like dealing with relationships and things like that too, like in my personal life, and just dealing with everything that has to do with the personal life. That is basically what I've just been trying to do for the last couple of months. So that's why I haven't been posting on YouTube, and I'm gonna try now that the new year's kind of coming up and we're having less daylight and really not as many things to do outside. I'm hoping I'll be able to post a little bit more in the new year, and I'm gonna really try to actually do that. But yeah, like, welcome to today's video. Today's video is going to be just plant chores. So I have a list of things that I really want to do for, I think, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plants. Yeah, 7 plants. And then I'll give you updates on a few of them too. So the first one, and I have it written down as my first item too. So I want to repot this Anthurium Wenligeri, and it's currently in tree fern and pon, and then with like a leca layer down at the bottom. And I want to repot it because it's starting to push out new roots, and I don't want this to, like, this was basically just the substrate that I wanted to get it acclimated to once it was like put into my care. I can't speak today. And yeah, so I wanted to get it acclimated to that because I eventually wanted to grow it into tree fern soil. So it's just a mixture. I'm gonna reuse a lot of the tree fern that's in this, and then I actually have like tree fern soil in this bowl. So I'm just gonna be reusing it, and it was from another plant, and there was no root rot or anything, so I'm not worried about anything like that. And then, yeah, so this is the first one, and then I guess the second / third. So I have these two little seedlings, and they are Anthurium Bessier AFF or AF crossed with Antilaki. Is that BVET? I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure. But these are the little babies that I have right now, and they're currently in, I think, like 2-inch or 3-inch pots, and I just want to top them up because they are getting quite tall. I'll see if I can show you, but they're getting quite, it's not going to focus, but they're getting quite tall inside the pot here, and I can see some of the roots kind of poking out. So I just want to like top it off a little bit so that these new aerial roots, or like adventitious roots, can actually grow into the medium, and it's not just like long and spindly. So that's what I'm going to be doing with those guys. And then I have, and don't judge me, but the water in this cutting that I have is absolutely disgusting, and you can tell why I need to repot it into a substrate. But this is one of my cuttings. This is actually the top cutting from one of my Monstera. Like if you look at one of my other videos, the chopping of my Monstera that I posted back in the summer, this was the only cutting out of the like 20 something cuttings that I took that actually didn't take for, and it like took the longest time for it to do anything. So what is this? Weird. Okay, sorry. I'm like squirrel right now, like my brain. And so I put it into water. I chopped it up again because it just wasn't rooting for me in anything that I tried. So it finally started rooting for me in the water. So I think I'm going to put this into Leca, but do I have Leca? Yeah, I have larger Leca here. So, oh crap, I don't have the pot. I'll have to do it at the time when I go to grab it. But yeah, I'm gonna be putting this one into Leca, and I don't know, eventually I may pot it up with my bigger one, but my big one right now, she's kind of, you can kind of see over in the corner here, like it has an established root system now, and I don't really want to take it out of that pot, and it's a pain in the butt to try and incorporate 2 of them when it's in Leca like that, and the roots are really like tangled. Okay, and then the next one that I'm going to be doing, so I'm not going to be repotting this at all because it's quite happy in this, but this is in tree fern soil, and it's got, I don't know if you can see roots, but yeah, there's some roots in there. But yeah, I'm gonna be repotting this, but you'll see, and hopefully it'll focus, but it's also very dark in here right now because it's like 8:30 p.m. And yeah, I don't know. I wanted to get this stuff done and I wanted to film it. So why not do both at this time anyway? So I just wanted to top this off with moss because you see some of the roots that are coming out from the top. So I'm gonna be topping that off with moss. And then the second last one, I think. So this is my Anthurium crystallinum. And anybody that's been following me on Instagram for a while will probably know the relationship that I have with this plant. It will give me beautiful roots for whatever substrate I put it in for the first little while, and then it'll just start rotting all of those roots. No matter what I do, I've tried growing it in straight moss with perlite. What have I, like aeroid mix, leca, pon, everything. And then finally I put it into this tree fern and pon mix, and it's giving me some juicy roots. So hopefully I'm not jinxing myself actually repotting it right now, but this isn't the forever like substrate that I want to be growing it in. Like I want to do it in the tree fern soil. So I'm going to be doing that, and hopefully it doesn't throw a fit and, well, die on me. But so far so good with it, and it seems to be liking the cabinet that it's living in. You'll see it looks quite bare back there right now because a lot of the plants that I'm dealing with right now in this video are going to be going back in there. So I'm going to be putting that into a bigger pot with the tree fern soil. Okay, and then the last, so I'll put a video of what this looked like before I chopped it and before the leaf started kind of like browning and yellowing. But this is the top cutting for my Philodendron serpens or Squamifera. I don't know the actual name, but this is the cutting from that plant that I have, and it was absolutely stunning. It was beautiful. It was probably, I think it's my favorite Philodendron, to be honest. It has like this, I don't know, the leaves are just beautiful and they're so shiny. So, and they're like a dark velvety green without it being velvety. So, and these are the roots. So I was a little nervous because it wasn't rooting for the longest time. And I was like, uh-oh, is this thing gonna root on me? And I already sold the bottom cutting like on the pole. So that was like the entire plant basically. I didn't chop it up into a bunch of cuttings. I just chopped it, like I kept this part and sold the bottom part that was on the pole. So I was a little bit nervous because this was my only like access to this plant, and like you don't really see them for sale around here very often. So yeah, I was a little bit nervous, but it actually started to root very well. So I'm gonna be potting this one up in tiny leca. So yeah, and then I do have one, it's on my to-do list and I wanted to do it right now, but I'll show you why I can't do it. But I just want to show this plant off because this is, I think, becoming one of my favorite Anthuriums. And it is my, I don't know if you'll be able to see it very well. It looks quite dark, but I'll see if I can like point it in the direction of the light so you can see it a little bit better. But this is an Indo version of a Anthurium Dark Phoenix. So I got this one from Repot Plants as like a tiny little cutting, and I put it in pon as per actually Alice, which I'm wearing Alice's merch right now. Alice grows hers in pon, and she says it does really well, and I think one of her other friends does it as well and grows it in pon as well. So that's kind of what I did. Like I just took that as a sign to put mine in pon because I grow almost all of my collection, anything that's an aeroid or anything that's not like a cactus or a succulent, I grow it in leca anyways because it's just so much easier. So I put it into pon because I love the semi-hydro life, and I don't know if you'll be able to see because of the ring light, but it's got some chunky roots. I wanted to repot this because you'll see that the stem is getting quite, like, it's going above the substrate and it's starting to poke out those roots. So it's looking for something to grow into, but it has this leaf on the way. So I don't want to disturb it, but I did want to show it because this is what I really wanted to, I really want to deal with this one. I really want to grow this one huge, and like I don't know, it's just so stunning. So I wanted to repot this. However, I can't because I don't want to mess with the new leaf. So yeah, I just wanted to give a little bit of an update on this one too. So I just love it. It's so pretty. Okay, we're in my office right now and I'm sitting on one of those, like, I don't know how to explain it. My dad just has one in his garage. I think they're like, a lot of people have them. They're kind of just like one of those like rolly stools. So I'm sitting on one of those and then I'm gonna be repotting on top of a soil bin because I don't really have a table or anything in here, but that's okay. So, what do I do first? Okay, I'm gonna do I'm gonna do the serpents first because that one is probably the easiest. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower you down so that it's a little bit, you can actually see what I'm doing. So I guess you won't be seeing my face much. That's okay. I should be able to see kind of what I'm doing. Okay, so this is tiny Leca, or this is like the tiny Leca that I use for a lot of my Hoyas, to be honest, like anything that I want to put in Leca. I have a lot of Hoyas in pond, but I have them in a no drainage setup, and nothing against no drainage, I love it. However, I like to flush my plants because I don't like a lot of nutrients sitting in them. Yeah, I like putting them in, I like putting my plants in drainage just because it's just easier for how I care for my plants. So I'm just gonna put this here. Also, you'll notice that my hair has gotten a lot longer. I'm not gonna take my hat off because nobody wants to see that when my hair is not done, but it's gotten a lot longer since I've last posted too, or if you've been following me on Instagram. So I've been growing my hair out for a little bit just to see what it looks like, and I do really like it, and when it's done nice, I really like it. However, I think I'm going to be going at the end of the month to go get it cut, so we'll see if I want to regrow it back out after I get it cut. Okay, back to the plants. I'm just trying to give as many updates as I can right now because I don't know, I've kind of been offline for a bit, just kind of dealing with life, so. Okay, so the first one, the Philodendron serpens. So I'm gonna be putting it into this clear plastic nursery pot and then putting it into this cover pot, which has no drainage. There's nothing at the bottom. And then I'll essentially have a reservoir of water sitting down at the bottom to about here. And then this tiny Leca will wick all of that up. So there are quite big holes at the bottom. So I don't know if the Leca is actually gonna go through. I'm sure it'll be okay. Just gonna fill this up now. And I was debating actually on growing this on a moss pole again, but I don't know. If I don't have to, I don't want to because I don't love moss poles. I love the results you get with them, and I understand like why people love moss poles and why you use them to begin with, but to be honest, I hate the maintenance of them, so that's kind of, I'm not really gonna, I don't think I'm gonna put this one on a moss pole. I'm just gonna stake it up. I'm just gonna move you down so you can kind of see what I'm doing. I need a proper potting mat that's like kind of see-through or like nicer, because doing this on higher like bins like this, it's hard for you to see kind of what I'm doing. So I'm gonna try and do this in a way that you can kind of see what I'm doing, but I'm just gonna backfill. I'm gonna put it like kind of like this too in the pot. Oh, you can't see, but this is the front. This is the front of the plant's facing this way, and then this is the back. So I'm gonna try and put it kind of like this so that it can grow up a stake eventually, and like it's not gonna be too far from the stake. So I'm gonna pot it like this. if you're interested in knowing more about how I care for my plants in Leca, like if you're not familiar with what Leca is, or like semi-hydroponics in general, I do have a whole video on my channel talking about how I use it and how I kind of like set my plants up in it. So if you're interested, go take a look at that, because I feel like that's like quite informational, and it's kind of just a mixture of information that I had or that I've learned from other creators like Kevin, Lacuna La Planta, and like other people that are quite familiar with the semi-hydro life. So I personally like it just because it's easier on me, and I can just fill a reservoir every 2 weeks or every month, and then kind of just leave it until I have to do it again. But it's definitely for the lazy plant parent. Yeah, so that's nice and easy. So there's its roots. I don't know if you can see them, but, and I like this is tiny Leca, and then there's larger Leca, which you'll see that I'm going to be potting my Monstera albo into, like that cutting. So you'll see that, but I like the tiny Leca for things like this, because you'll see that like the roots in this aren't as big as like a Monstera root. So honestly, like this is why I like to use the tiny Leca for things like this. Like I have my Philodendron patriciae in it. I have all of my Hoyas that are in Leca. It's in this tiny Leca, and I just find that it's easier because these like smaller roots, and this is just me speculating. It's not. I don't actually know, but I feel like when you have smaller root system plants like this, they have a harder time latching onto the roots. Again, this might not be the case for everybody. This is just my experience, but that I've just noticed that. So that's why I like this smaller Leca for like plants with smaller roots, because it kind of like covers up a little bit better. Okay, so I'm gonna fill this up with, I'm gonna fill this up with a like rooting solution, but I just potted it up, and I put the clear nursery pot into this cover pot, and then not on camera, I'm just gonna fill it up to here, and then I'm gonna put it back into the plant cabinet that's downstairs. But this is, I mean, it doesn't look any different than when I first showed, but this is the Philodendron serpens. Okay, done with this one now. Ooh, my legs are kind of getting sore sitting like this. Oh, I can probably just reuse the water that it was using. So we'll just reuse. Nice. Okay, cool. Okay. First one done. Now I'll show you with the larger Leca and what I was talking about with the larger Leca. So, what pot do I want to put this in? I'm debating, like, do I keep it? Or do I do something else with it, like sell it? I'm just gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it for now. But I have to go grab a pot for it, and I don't know what pot to get for it, to be honest. Okay, 1 second. I'll be right back to go get a pot. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is put it in this, I think this is like a 5 or 6 inch pot. It's one of those albo pots that, I don't know, they're made like sustainably or something. I could be wrong, but I've just heard that. So I'm just gonna peel the sticker off. And then what I think I'm going to do is basically use this as the cover pot. It's just like a clear glass container. And then, yeah, I'm just gonna basically use that unless I find something better, and I don't know where I'm gonna put this, to be honest, but we'll figure it out. So, okay. So this is the larger Leca that I was talking about. So see how it's quite a bit larger than the stuff that I was showing before. And plants with chunkier, like thicker roots, like a Monstera, will probably, like, I find that they do a lot better in like thicker ones like this, and then they probably do well in the smaller Leca too, but these grow too fast, I find, like Monstera roots, like they get root bound like way too quickly, so I would just be going through that tiny stuff like so fast, and then they come in smaller bags. So I'm just gonna use this because that's what I use with my other Monsteras. So I'm just gonna fill it up to about here. And then I'm gonna try, all of the roots are kind of like, I don't want to break any, but I do want to separate them out a bit because they're like quite stuck together. Is everybody ready for Christmas? And I just mean ready in the sense of like the holidays, spending time with friends and family and things like that, like possibly having time off work if you're lucky enough to have that. Ooh, there's a little bit of, ooh, it's rotting. Oh no. Okay, well, good thing I found this now. It's starting to rot a little bit. You'll see like it's getting black and it's like hollowing out a bit. I hope it doesn't, oh no. Oh no. Okay. Tried to remove as much rot as I could, but it started to like hollow out a bit, so hopefully now, because it's going to be getting some more air in like being in Leca, because there's those huge air pockets, while also getting sufficient moisture, it'll hopefully not continue to rot. But oh yeah, I was just asking if everybody is ready for the holidays, ready for Christmas if you celebrate that. I know I am. I'm just so ready for the holidays, so ready for the time off, just to kind of unwind. And I'm going to be playing my Nintendo Switch. I kind of want to try something else new in like the new year, or possibly before the new year, I guess, like my new resolution, not even just like New Year's resolution, but just like something that I want to try. I really want to try stained glass. I see it online all the time. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see that I follow this one creator and I share their posts all the time because I just find that it's so cool, some of the stuff that they work on. But I want to try stained glass because I don't know, it just seems like a really fun hobby, and it's probably expensive to get into, but so is plants, so why not try it? So I'm gonna prod it up like this, I think, and then I'm not going to put this on a pole. I mean, a moss pole. Hopefully I'm not making a bad decision, but yeah, whatever. I have another albo anyways. That one's not on a pole either, because I just, if you know me, you know I despise poles. But I'm gonna use this gross cup that it was growing in before. All of my Leca right now is soaking in like a rooting solution, so it's like, and it's constantly sitting in it, so it's like ready to go automatically whenever I need to. Like this has been soaking for probably weeks now, so it's nice and moisturized and ready for the roots to start intaking some, like the moisture. So I can't see any of the roots on the outside of the pot yet, but that's okay. It'll be a good indicator when I do start seeing roots out on the outside that it kind of like took to the Leca. But, and then put this in here like this. And then yeah, off camera, I'm just gonna fill up the reservoir, and then like it'll just kind of just be sitting in water a little bit just so that it can take up some of that nutrients. But yeah. This is the Monstera elbow cutting. Okay, next, and this one I'm kind of nervous about. Oh wait. Like already moving on to the next thing. Okay, hold on, I need to clean up a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to repot this guy, the Anthurium when lingeri. how am I gonna do this? I'm gonna take off these clips first. I'm putting it in the same size pot because it doesn't really need anything bigger, but I just want to take this, I want to take it out of this one because it was sitting in like a reservoir of water for the longest time so that it would help it root. And you'll see that it's like full of algae, so I can never tell whether or not it's dry. So I'm going to take it out of this pot and put it into this one and then just clean this one afterwards, like wash it out so I can use it for another plant. So this is the tree fern soil that I was talking about that I used for another plant. It was actually my king of spades that was in it, and I put it in too large of a pot at first and I kind of regretted it, so I took it out of the pot not too long after because they don't root very well for me, or like it takes a while for it to root, so I just took it out. And I don't want to throw this away because it's still good and it's still good to use for other plants and stuff like that. And yeah, we should be good to go with it. But I'm just gonna empty the pot, and you'll see like this one's already, I don't know if you can see right there, but there's a root popping out, so it's looking for new like substrate to grow into. And then this was the leaf, this is the leaf that was done in my care, and I actually got this from NXC Plants. And same with these guys too, the Bessier AFF and Anthurium. I got these from him as well. But how do I do this? Because I'm nervous about pulling it out. I'm just gonna empty it in here because it's all gonna be going to the same place anyways. I'm gonna be using the same soil for my crystallinum too, but you guys will have to let me know in the comments below what type of like, when people are doing plant chores like this and you're kind of watching, like, do you like hearing the talking in the background, or like, do you like hearing talking the whole time, or like, would you rather like a little bit of both, where it's like a little bit of talking and a little bit of like kind of sped up B-roll or of people actually doing the plant chores? But yeah, let me know in the comments below what kind of stuff you like, because I'm not a chatty Cathy all the time. Like, I don't love to chat constantly, so sometimes I just like to do this stuff, but don't really have anything to chat about. Okay, finally. Okay, so let's see how the roots look, and then I'll show you. So the roots look okay. There's nothing that's, oh, maybe there is a little bit. Oh, shoot, I just broke one. Whoops. Okay. Go in that cup. Are you rotten? Nope. Okay, so there's, okay, so it's not too bad. It's a top cutting, I think, or sorry, I think it's a bottom cutting, but, or a mid cutting of this, but that's the root system so far. And I'm gonna be putting it into the exact same size pot before because it doesn't need anything huge, so just gonna mix this up a little bit. And actually, geez, I'm making a huge mess. What I'm also going to do is mix in some of this BIOS fertilizer. So I always do this whenever I do repots. I always mix in BIOS fertilizer because it's kind of just helps with the transplant shock. So I'm just gonna do that. And what I'll do usually too is when I'm doing like potting, I can't speak today. When I am doing repots and stuff, I'll mix it directly into the substrate that I'm doing, and usually the substrate that I use it with is like soil or like tree fern soil and stuff like that. But I'll mix it in directly. But other times, like when I'm just using it regularly to feed my plants, I'll basically just create like a BIOS juice or a BIOS tea, where I'll put it in like one of those tea bags that you can kind of like open and close yourself, that you use for like loose leaf tea, and then I'll leave that in a jug for a few days to let that like soak up into the water and, you know, like ferment, not ferment, but like kind of ferment, but yeah, do that. And this is that's the consistency of the soil that I'm going to be using. So this is just a mixture of tree fern, perlite, there's pollen in here now because that's what was mixed in before. There's like bigger things of bark and stuff like that from the like soil mix or like the aeroid mix. And I usually use the aeroid mix that I usually use. It's already like a pre-made one, but it's either from Tropicateur Plants, which is located in London, Ontario, or I will do, and like I also add a little bit of the mycorrhizae, HP mycorrhizae soil, so I'll put that in here too because it's really good fungi or for the root system. So okay, you guys will have to let me know where you get like cool potting mats because I really want to get like, I know Fern, she has this like iridescent one and I kind of like that, but I kind of want to like, I don't know if it exists, but I kind of want one that's like maybe like an orangey color. I don't know, I'm really into orange lately, so you guys will have to let me know if you know where to get those types of things. But I looked on Amazon for new potting mats and I couldn't really find any that I liked. But so what I'm gonna do is, it's not gonna be potted in, how do I do this? Because I kind of want to pot it in deep, but like when lingerized, they grow not horizontally, but they grow down, right? Because they're pendant leaf anthuriums. So like, I just feel like this is gonna be a pain in the butt. Like, do I pot it like this? No, because I want these roots to go into the substrate. Okay, I'm just gonna do this, and if I mess up, whoops, then oh well. I just heard a little bit of a snap. I really hope I didn't mess anything up. I was thinking about it the other day too. Does anybody know if, like, I know that you can get like IKEA cabinets, like what's behind me and stuff like that, but like, you know how like there's like those old time greenhouses? Does anybody know if you can like get those but in your house? Like maybe you can set it up like an IKEA greenhouse to have like the lights and the fans and things like that, and I don't know, other things to hold humidity, but I wonder if there's like a way to get one that kind of looks like those like old greenhouses and kind of put it in your house like an IKEA greenhouse, because I feel like those would look really cool. Like make it so that it's not so like modern looking and make it so that it's kind of like not old timey, but it just looked like it was done in like 100 years ago or whatever, you know. I'm just trying to be careful because there's a new like growth point that's coming out of this, so I don't want to destroy that. And I've been debating on getting a grow tent too, because this is my dilemma. I don't like having a lot, like I don't like my house looking like it's full of plants, and a part of me is because I like kind of minimalism, but I also like, I don't know if you've heard the term like intentional clutter. I really like that too. I don't know, I'm just weird. Like I can't make up my mind. So I've been thinking about getting a grow tent for my Anthurium specifically because like they're getting a lot larger now and I don't have the room to be putting them everywhere. So I've been fighting with the idea of getting a grow tent, but A, I don't know where to put it, and B, that kind of like was rooting into the question that I was asking before around like those like little greenhouses, because I feel like those would be like more of like a statement thing that you could have in your house. So yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you guys do. Or let me know how crazy I am for wanting all of these plants, but then not wanting my house to look like I have all of these plants, if you know what I mean. So it needs to be wiped down and it needs to be, actually I don't know if it needs to be watered. I may leave it because this is already pretty damp. Yeah, this is already pretty damp, so I'll probably leave it for a few days because I just watered it not too long ago, but this is it in the new pot and the new substrate. So, and I did cover those roots that were coming out, so hopefully it likes it. Okay, the next one. So now we are going to take off these. So now we're gonna do the crystallinum. And hopefully it doesn't throw an absolute fit now that I'm repotting it, but we'll see. I'm putting it into this slightly larger pot because I kind of want this one to grow really big leaves. I've had this is actually one of my older Anthuriums that I've had, and I've had this for like so many years now, and so many years, I mean like 2 years, 2 or 3 years, and I don't know why we have this relationship where like it'll give me these beautiful roots, but then it'll just start rotting them. So yeah, I don't know. I'm really hoping that this will, I don't want to mess with the roots too much because I don't want it to throw too much of a fit, but I'm hoping it will do okay in this bigger pot. Just kind of teasing the roots. Adding it back in. This is still a very pond heavy mix now, still like pond and tree fern, but it has at least a little bit of soil in here. But hopefully it'll be okay. Just gonna put that in there. Hopefully there's enough. Yeah, there should be. I'm gonna have to vacuum in here afterwards. It's already a freaking mess. Okay, I'm gonna place it this way so you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm gonna place it in like that. I want it to be a little bit lower because I still want it to be able to grow. I still want it to be able to grow a little bit higher without me having to repot it again. I'm just gonna put it in like this. Does anybody else have troubles with Anthurium crystallinum? Like just the regular, no, like not a hybrid with another one, but just like the regular crystallinum? Because like, I'm interested to know if it's just a me problem or if it's other people too. Nice, okay. So I don't know what this is. It looks a little brown. It looks like the like new growth point, but I don't know if it's brown because it's just my crystallinum and it hates me. I'll see if I can show you, but right there, it looks a little brown. I hope it's not, I don't know, we'll see. Again, I'm gonna have to rinse all these off because I get really dirty and I get the pots really dirty, but this is the crystallinum. Oh my gosh, I didn't even show you the roots. I'm sorry, I'm not even thinking. I didn't even show you guys the roots. How rude of me. That's like the best part sometimes. You just want to see what the roots look like. I'm not taking it back out though, but this is it, and it's new pot, the bigger pot. Hopefully it doesn't throw a fit. I'll make sure to keep you guys updated, especially on Instagram, so go follow me over on Instagram because that's where you'll see most of my updates of my plants and things that I do. So yeah, this is the crystallinum. Okay, now this is one of those seedlings that I have. So this is the Bessier AFF crossed with Anthurium. You'll see that it's like so full of algae because I kind of keep like a little bit of a reservoir in it because I don't know, I just, when it comes to seedlings like this, like I never want them to dry out. So I always kind of want to keep a little bit of moisture. Like I want to keep them wet essentially because I never want them to dry out. So I'm just going to be topping this one off. There's a little bit of soil in here, but that's okay. I'm just topping it off just so any roots that pop out can grow into this. I feel like these are big enough now that I probably don't need a reservoir in the pot anymore, but I don't know, we'll see. Because lately I've been really lazy with my plants and I don't check on them every day. Like I don't check on them a lot. I usually check on them like once a week or once every 2 weeks, and I know that Anthuriums, especially, I don't know, babies, but they can kind of drink a lot of water when they're growing like that, so I may leave it in there for a little bit. But and this is the second one. I really need to wash these cups out because they're disgusting. They're so gross. Also, I'm interested to know what these are going to look like when they're older. If anybody has this cross, can you go follow me on Instagram and then send me a picture of what this looks like? Because I really want to know what the parents, like I know what the parents look like individually, but I'm really interested to see, I know not all crosses will look the same, but I'm really interested to see like what these, sorry, pivot for a second, but I'm just ripping off the small leaf down here because it's going to be covered by this anyway, so I just want to make sure that it's not going to rot under there. But yeah, I just pulled that off. But yeah, I really want to know what these look like as mature specimens because this was given as a little gift from NXT Plants when I bought a Carla seed from them. So, and like the Wendlinger, I got them both at the same time, and then they so graciously, all of my lights are turning off right now. Okay, Google, turn on all of the lights in Brandon's office. There we go. It's 9, it must be 9 p.m. because I turn off all of my lights at 9 p.m. in my office. All of my plant lights. But yeah, I'm very thankful for them sending these little seedlings to me because I'm really interested to see what they look like. But yeah, if anybody really knows what these look like as a mature specimen with this specific crossing, like the Bessier AFF and Anthurium, I'm really interested to see. So if you could send that to me, that'd be great because I really want to see what this looks like. Look at that. Literally like the perfect amount. That's wild. Just gonna top it off, but that's literally the perfect amount that I needed to do all the things that needed tree fern soil. That's crazy. Oh, I guess there's still more in here, but we'll deal with that. Okay. Yeah, this needs to be rinsed off a little bit, but here's the little seedling. It's so cute. I'm gonna put it back in its little cups. So I don't want to shock it too much. Ooh, my feet are going numb. Okay. Is there just one left? No. Hold on. Oh no, my hands are gross and I don't want to pick up my phone. Okay, repot Wendlingeri, repot crystallinum, top up the seedlings. Okay, I need to do the red crystal and Doriaki. Oh, I need to top the Bessier AFF that I have with moss, but I don't know if I have enough moss, to be honest. Yeah, I do. Okay, I'm gonna have to do that. Okay, pot up the Philodendron serpens. Nice, that's done. Okay, do the Monstera. Nice, okay. So I just need to deal, my hands are disgusting. Put this here. And I'm gonna put these little babies on my desk. How am I doing for battery? Okay, 32. Put you down here. I'm gonna need these again. Jeez, it's like such a freaking mess in here now. The worst part about it all is that you have to clean it up afterwards. Like, if I could grant one wish when it comes to this type of stuff, I feel like if I could do all of this stuff, because I love doing these plant chores, but I hate to clean up afterwards. Okay. So, here is the moss. It's mixed with perlite right now, and it's very, very dry. But, there's not enough moss in here, so I'm gonna go grab more moss and put it in here.
12 things on. Sorry, it looks like 7 things aren't available right now.
Okay. Okay, so this is, I'm gonna be mixing these two. This is like, I don't know what brand this moss is, but it's not this. I know that this is like the good stuff. Or if it's not, let me know in the comments. But I got this off of Amazon, and I've been waiting to use it, like use up the rest of my moss before I use this up. But I'm just gonna basically add it together, and then I'm gonna hydrate it. Also, have you guys seen, if you follow me on Instagram, have you guys seen how much snow my city is getting? Like over the last week, I've had to shovel my driveway and my sidewalk and like my walkway and stuff like so many times. And I'm so sore from this week. Like we got so much snow. I'll put a picture up on the screen to show you how much snow if you don't follow me on Instagram. But I posted it on my stories because of just how much freaking snow we got. Like it was insane how much snow we got. And I know that like, yes, I'm from Canada. I should probably expect it. But like for the last like, I don't know, 5 to 7 years, we haven't gotten that much snow. Like I remember getting kind of like this much snow when we were kids. But like, yeah, I don't know. It's just so much snow that we've had to deal with this week. So I'm just adding in some water to help hydrate the moss a little bit. And this is kind of the easiest one, so I kind of left this one for last. But I'm just going to be topping off 2 of my Anthuriums with this, but is that too much water? No. And I literally just got this watering can off of Amazon today. Like, look how cute. Because I kept using like cups and stuff to water, but like they spill or like you don't really have control in terms of like where the water goes, or like you do, but not as much control. So I kind of wanted something a little bit with like a nozzle to be able to control it a little bit better. So nice. So we'll just let this sit for a little bit. Do I need to go get more water? Yeah, because there's like 0 water down at the bottom. But I don't want it to be, so I want to put the lid back on here afterwards, because all of this stuff lives in my crawl space. Like all of my amendments and things like that, and like substrates, they all live in my crawl space because I just don't have the room for it. But I'll just, okay, it's like, it's damp enough. Maybe I'll just put this down for a second. Okay, so this is my regular Bessier AFF that I have. It's huge. I know it's not a very good image of it or like a view of it, but this is like the size of my hand, and this is, oh, you can't even see. That's like the size of my, yeah, that's the size of my hand, and that's the size of a leaf. And I don't know, I don't have huge hands, but I have decent sized hands, I think. And I can't believe that it's actually grown this much, because when I first got it, it threw a fit from being shipped to me in the mail. But these are the roots. It's in like one of those really big square pots, but yeah, I just need to top this one. Oh, you can't even see. This is really hard to deal with, the leaves so big like this, but you'll see that like there's all of this stem right here, and then these little things poking out, those are all roots that need to be covered, because I want them to be covered so that they'll kind of be trained back down into the pot. So, and this is living in The crazy thing about this is that it's living in ambient humidity right now, or like ambient conditions, and mind you, my office says that it's at 48% right now, but I don't know, I feel like it gets down to like 30%, and that's like, it just boggles my mind, because I've always known Bessiers to be like really picky when it comes to stuff like that. Like they like high humidity and things like that, or they're just traditionally more known for liking high humidity. So top this with moss, and I'm going to water it afterwards too. Mind you, I do keep this like almost wet. Like you'll see, like the sides of this are like basically wet, and I water it, and then if water goes down into the bottom of the pot that it's in, which I have it in this like yellow pot, and it doesn't have a drainage hole, but if water goes down into the bottom of that, I do not do anything to, I don't take it out, because I know that these guys love water. So I remember one of my plants that I had, or one of my Anthuriums, it was the Luxurians crossed with Radicans that I had for the longest time. The moss mountain that lived on top of that plant pot was hilarious. Like when it got dry, it was stupid, because like all of the water would just beat off, and it would go up to like here. I don't know if you can see that, but like it would like go up to here, and it was me just being lazy, not wanting to repot it. But it was hilarious trying to water that thing, especially when the moss got all dried out. This will kind of compress too as it gets more like watered a lot more. So okay, so we're just gonna do that. Plus I don't have any other bigger sizes for the square pots, and I do like these square pots because they are a little bit taller, so that you don't have to water, or you don't have to repot as often. But I don't know if I want to put this in like a huge 8-inch pot just yet, because I don't know, I feel like it's not, maybe not ready for that, but hopefully this will tie it over for a little bit. Okay, this is the Bessier AFF. I'm just showing you the one leaf. Here's the other one, there's the other ones. And then, whoop, this is it with it all topped off with moss. Okay, last but certainly not least, the red crystal with, or sorry, yeah, red crystal Doriaki. I don't know who's the parent, or who's the pollen parent versus who is the mother plant, but I'm just calling it a red crystal crossed with Doriaki. The leaves on it are so cute. You'll see, I posted this on my story today actually. Like I'm just obsessed with this, like how the lobes are kind of overlapping, and like the red margins, and just how round the leaf is. Like it's so freaking cute, and like how dark it is too. I don't know if you can see on screen, but there's like this like weird like little squiggle too. I don't know what happened, but I'm sure it's fine. I just needed to top this up with moss too, because it's starting to show those roots pop up. Plus it'll be a nice little, I mean, it already lives in my IKEA greenhouse behind me, like my Millsbow wide, not my, I was gonna say red stud, my red stud's downstairs. But it already lives in that with decent humidity. Like right now it's at 66, so in the summer it gets to about like high 70s and stuff. But this this moss will help it hold a little bit more moisture too. I actually repotted off camera last night my King of Spades, and I don't know if I can figure out that plant. I'm sure it's just like pretty juvenile, and that's why it's being a little bit more fussy. But like, does anybody else have a hard time with that plant? Like, I don't know if I'm keeping it happy enough. And I have it in tree fern soil. Maybe I'll put a picture of it up on screen, or maybe I'll show you in a second. But the one thing that I find is that if you do top with moss, if it's not like thick enough on top, then like it dries out quite fast. So Oh no, did I just mess up a leaf? Okay, I need to relax. There's a new emergent leaf that's just coming out and I feel like I just bumped it a little bit. So I just need to chill for a sec. Okay, we're good. Okay, this is it. Looks the same, but it just has moss on the top. So this is my little king of spades. So these plants came to me at the exact same time and they were like literally the same size. Like they were just like tiny, tiny little seedlings. And this one is still this size and this one is like getting huge so fast. So I don't know. Let me know down in the comments like if you have tips on growing king of spades, and because I just may not know how to do it right. If you have tips, let me know, because I just want those like big pillowy like round leaves, you know? And like the leaves are getting smaller. That's why I repotted it last night, because I was like really nervous about like what was happening with it. Because like this is technically the oldest leaf that you see, and then this is the newest, but like this is the second newest. So like, you see how this one's smaller? So yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping this repot in this smaller pot, and maybe if I don't keep it as damp, maybe it'll like that. But I have it on a heat mat right now too in my IKEA cabinet, because I want it to kind of like, I want the heat to draw some of the roots down. So yeah, if you have any tips, please leave me a comment down below, because I really just want this. This is probably one of my favorites that I have in my collection. Like I want this one to get big, and I really want this one to look nice. So yeah, if you have any tips, please let me know. Okay, well, that's it for today. So we repotted 1, 2, 3, 4, and then kind of well, yeah, 4 plants. We repotted the 4 plants and then just topped up the other ones. But yeah, it was kind of fun getting back into this again, and hopefully I'll be able to post a little bit more frequently. So this is it for this video. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to really try and post a little bit more onto YouTube, because I don't know, I find this stuff fun. Like it does take a little bit of work to like set up the station to like get this stuff done, but I feel like I like videos like this where you can kind of like sit down and watch, or like sit down or go do not run errands, but like basically do chores around the house or anything like that, and have it on in the background. But yeah, I'm gonna try and post a little bit more on here, and my battery's about to die, so it's perfect timing for me to end this video now. But I really appreciate it if you made it this far, and make sure to go follow me over on Instagram. I'm the same name on Instagram and like TikTok and all those other things, and it's Philodendron. And yeah, that's it for this video, and we'll see you in the next one.